Oslo. This is Akureyri calling. My name is Valgarður and this is my PhD thesis. Now it's called Scaffolding in the Modern Classroom, Improving Instructional Quality Through Technology. I wanted to start by giving a short overview of my personal journey, why I want to research the things that I plan to research. Well, the thing is, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I started when I was 25, teaching at a small high school. It was only about 150 students, something like that. And there I was asked to teach many different subjects. My background is in history, and then I was teaching geography, philosophy, religion, journalism, rhetoric, and elocution, and a lot of different subjects that I really didn't know that much about or had that much depth or skill at. So even though I had a pretty big ego and thought I could do everything, I kind of found out that I can't do everything and I don't really know everything. At first I just coped by working harder. The first year of my professional life was rather crude, rather difficult. I was working around the clock, as many teachers do in Iceland in their first years of teaching. But as time went by, I slowly realized that I didn't really have to be this Renaissance man that knew everything. And I can really make the analogy between this and the Renaissance masters, because everybody thinks that they were these great polymaths that could do everything really well. But in reality, it was probably more like they had their own workshops, which were just called, Da Vinci's workshop or Michelangelo, whatever. And then they had all these wonderful disciples that were working for them, and everything that came out of that workshop was named after the master. So many of the works that are named after these grand Renaissance masters maybe aren't really theirs. So maybe they weren't really the great polymaths that some people think that they were. Now, this relates to teaching in the way that with the help of modern technology, teachers can really be this great designer, this Renaissance master, in the way that they were back then, because we can take the best of the best instruction. We can contact experts just through simple mediums like YouTube, and we can get expert advice and instruction for our students just by the click of a button. So we can really have quality instruction, the highest quality in the world. We can have Harvard lecturers in our Nordic classrooms just by the click of a button. And that's the real quality instruction I'm interested in. How can we design these scaffolds with all the cornucopia, this big buffet of information and lectures and expert advice? How can we design the best one? Now, my research questions, they are still being formulated, and I would be happy to get some advice from you. The main question would be, how is instructional quality reflected in the practices of social science teachers in 10 Icelandic schools? This question can definitely be shortened. And I'm still working on the concepts, how I can pinpoint the exact concepts that I want to research. The key terms I have listed here, it's teaching quality, instruction, scaffolding, social science, facilitation, discussion, and technology. Now, here I have the proposed articles, and I wanted to make things simple, have just one article for each of the sub-research questions. So article number 1 would be the instructional practices in Icelandic social science classes, scaffolding or scolding. That's just my attempt at being interesting and funny. Now, but if you take just a little bit closer look of article number 1, it will definitely be a descriptive examination, really my first impressions and findings from doing the Plato coding and analysis of the initial videos. And maybe one of the questions that I might want to ask in article number 1 would be the question of just what is quality teaching? What is teaching? Is it an art or is it an science? Now in article number 2, I will be focusing more on higher order thinking skills and really on the pedagogy, on the choices teachers make for discussions. I have been using a lot of discussion, such as Socratic seminars in my teaching, and I would love to do an article about discussion and democratic participation in classes. But I really need to do more work about incorporating the discussion part and the democratic participation into my work. Now, the third article, Scaffolding in the Modern Classroom, How Technology Can Improve Instructional Quality in Social Science Classrooms Across the Nordic Countries. There, I hope to have found some clues about the ways social science teachers across the Nordic countries are using classroom software to improve the quality of their instruction, using expert advice and expert instruction to really get the best of the best into the Nordic classrooms, and how they use that to further discussion in class and higher order thinking skills. Now, the current issues, where I'm really at, the things that I'm dealing with right now, is first just trying to find leeway to do actual research work. I've really been struggling against the wind here in Akureyri. It's not been easy setting everything up, getting everything through the system here at the university. But when I return from my paternity leave at the end of February, everything will hopefully be done once and for all. Now, defining teaching quality, that's definitely something I'm really interested in and want to do some more work on. And I would love to get your opinion and definitions and input on that. Now, I need to polish my research questions. That's just work that I need to do. And also I'd love to get some input on that, especially to incorporate classroom discourse better into my research. Now, I also plan on registering for PhD courses at University of Oslo. And I was listening earlier when Shishti was talking about a course this February, and also Peter mentioned something next fall. So I would like to get some leads on that. Now, the last thing that I'm working on is we are still deciding, are we going to use Atlas or Excel or NVivo or Interact? I know that researchers on the Nordic countries have been using different things. So I would like to Maybe you could have a discussion or an internal memo or something that lists what exactly people are using in different countries and what the experience has been like. Thank you.